All right, good morning. Welcome to the vidcast. My guest today is an old friend, and when I say an old friend, she's not old, meaning we have been friends for a long time. I do this vidcast to not to only have a good conversation, but catch up with old friends that I haven't seen in a while. Welcome, Marissa Abaza. Marissa, how are you?
I'm good. Good morning. I'm wonderful.
How long has it been? I haven't seen it, probably 5 years, maybe, no? Maybe longer than that, huh?
Since the last time I saw you, it's been a while, but I know that when I met you, I think it was 2009.
Yeah, that was the first festival, Bachata festival, right?
Yes. Uh-huh. Yep.
And then back then, you had several partners. You had Anthony as partners. In fact, I judged you guys. I think you guys won in London, in UK.
We did. Yeah.
That was a good trip, by the way. That was
a lot of fun.
It was rushed. We had to go to the palace and then walk and fast and then back, but I had a good time. And you guys, I think that was the very first time the Europeans saw USA talent, not just performing, but competing. And you guys made my job easier as a judge. I think I was the only American judging you guys. Like, this is easy. I don't have to really go like this and really scrutinize you guys. But what is new, girl?
Oh man, well, I haven't danced in a while. I miss it tremendously. And I actually, so I stopped dancing and I went to chiropractic school. And then I graduated from chiropractic school, and then
How long did it take you to do that?
Well, I think on average, it's supposed to be about like 3.5, 4 years. I did it in, I think it was like 5 years. So wow. I did take time just because I was still dancing as I was going through chiropractic school. But yeah, and I graduated in 2017, and now I have a beautiful practice in New Jersey.
That's good. You have your own clinic?
Yes, I do.
That's awesome. And well, let's get back to this training thing. So once you decide to become a chiropractor, then you go to this college or school of chiropractor, right?
Yeah.
What do they teach you?
In chiropractic school?
Yeah. I'm curious. What do you guys do for training?
So, a lot of people don't understand the curriculum of chiropractic.
Right.
The easiest way that I can explain it is that it's pretty much the same courses as a medical doctor. So all the same basic sciences, all the same advanced sciences, but then instead of pharmacology, we study more of nutrition. So there's a huge emphasis on nutrition. So a lot of chiropractors actually practice nutrition in their own practice. I don't. I still think it's very important. I still try to educate people on it. But nutrition's a big part of chiropractic school, but also techniques too. And there's a lot of chiropractic techniques.
Not too many people know that about nutrition. That's good.
Yeah.
So when your patients come into you, and how do you determine, or do they just ask you for help with nutrition, or there's some type of diagnosing that you figure it's like maybe you're malnourished in this area?
If someone comes into my office, they usually, most of the time they'll come in because they have some kind of a back issue or like neck pain. That's what chiropractors are widely known for. It's interesting. I don't treat back pain or neck pain.
Interesting.
I don't treat any of that. I don't treat any symptom. And actually people come to us with things like headaches or even like anxiety or sleep problems, but we don't treat any symptom, right? I would say that's more of like the allopathic medical model is to treat symptoms. But instead what we do is we locate something called subluxations, which is just a very fancy word for saying bones in the spine can shift out of alignment. And when that happens, it causes nerve interference.
Right.
And so as we locate where the bones are out, we put the bones back into proper alignment, and then that removes the nerve interference and ultimately allows the body to heal itself. that's like a really simple way of explaining chiropractic. So
So that's like you said, it's not adjustment, but it's more of like a bone setting.
not really. So yeah,
I can't even pronounce what you said. I'm not even going to attempt to do that.
subluxation.
Yeah,
So
whatever. Okay, good.
A lot of chiropractors do manual adjusting where
Right.
they'll feel your spine, they'll feel where some joints are stuck, and then they'll thrust into the area to free up that joint space. And that definitely, that's still chiropractic. That's wonderful. But you don't necessarily need to crack bones or move a bone to correct a subluxation.
Right.
So like for me, for instance, and I know a lot of other chiropractors use instruments to adjust. So I use an instrument and it's like a little spring-loaded device and it allows me to be very gentle and specific. So I actually don't do any of the popping, cracking, or twisting. And I can, adjust the most delicate spines, but it's just a really quick impulse. And again, it just kind of helps to bring stimulation to that region. And it definitely can move a bone as well.
See, I've never heard of this before because I've been treated by chiropractors in the past. Is this the modern way of chiropractic?
I can't really speak on it because I don't know. I only went to one chiropractic school, so I only know what they taught at that
Right.
school.
Yeah.
But I know there is definitely a trend for newer chiropractors to move away from the manual adjusting and use instrument adjusting.
Got it.
That is a very a big generalization. So I don't know how true that is, but with my experience, that's what I've noticed. And what's great is that, again, manual adjusting is so great. Like it's so wonderful and people get amazing relief from that. But again, you don't necessarily need to do that to adjust the spine. And by using an instrument, the doctor, or the chiropractor can preserve their own bodies too, because it does create wear and tear if you're constantly,
That's
moving.
true. I mean, there's that myth that if you keep cracking your fingers, you'll get arthritis. You've heard that,
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true. It could be, but
what do you think of decompression though, whether it's in your neck bone or your back? Is that something that's beneficial for anyone really?
I don't do decompression in my office.
Okay.
But I am a fan of it. I think it's really wonderful. Decompression is really taking pressure off of your intervertebral discs. So you have your vertebra, right? And your vertebra are stacked to each other. The space between is your disc. And so a lot of times as we walk and stuff, the disc gets compressed.
Right.
And, I don't know if you've heard this, but we're actually taller in the morning than we are at nighttime. Well, it depends on.
I better take pictures.
Yeah. Well, that's assuming that you're awake during the day at least.
I see.
But decompression, it just kind of, opens up the joint spaces a little bit, takes pressure off of the discs. And, it can give a lot of great relief. And, but it also can incorporate more blood flow to the area. And,
Good.
I think it's great.
So when a patient go to your clinic and they say, I'm having a back problem, for some reason, when I stand, I could tell that my shoulders are imbalanced. Then what are your procedures? What do you do?
So again, I don't treat the shoulder issue.
Right. But if they come to you, what do you do? What would you suggest? Yeah,
well, I would definitely do a full exam first and, just kind of check to see what's going on. But usually what it is, it's called a proprioceptive issue. Okay. So proprioception, I don't know if you're familiar with that term, but it's a fancy word for saying your body's awareness of itself within space. So for example, if I put my arms out to my side without looking at my arms, my brain tells me that my arms are to my, raised up and perpendicular to the earth, to the ground. And so that's proprioception. But sometimes when things kind of get distorted in our spine, our body loses that proprioception. So we could carry one shoulder higher than the other. Right. And so ultimately we just need to remove that nerve interference or stimulate certain nerves to remind the brain, oh yeah, I'm supposed to come back here. And so the body ultimately corrects itself.
That's what's happening to me right now because I've gotten back to bodybuilding, and I didn't notice this before, but I noticed that my right dilt is growing and the left dilt is not as growing. It's like, what the hell's going on? And so when I started like this, you could see, it's like, what's going on here? And as like wifey said, you got to go to a chiropractor, maybe, check it up, whatnot. So it's like, okay, whatever. I mean, you accept everybody, most chiropractors now, and even acupuncturists accepts major insurance. So I'm lucky that that's included in my insurance. So I will check them out. And I figured I would ask you for certain recommendations, because every chiropractor, I think, is a little different. Like you said, the way you treat patients is a very different way, which is pretty interesting, because I've never heard of this type of treatment before that you were saying, but that's what you trained for, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So nutrition, and then you do this modern stuff that I can't pronounce. So what do you call it again?
Subluxation.
I think it's a Filipino thing. When you get old, you can't pronounce a damn thing. You were born in America, San Diego?
I was born in San Diego. Yep. And so my mom is.
You have a mom that's Filipino and dad that's European?
My mom is Filipina. My dad is Scandinavian. So he's Norwegian. Yeah.
Yeah. So are they still alive?
They are. And they're still in San Diego, and I miss them so much.
And they cook adobo and dinuguan
and
all that stuff?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
San Diego, man.
Mom, in a loving way, I call her Fob. Have you heard of Fob? F-E, fresh off the boat? Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
So she's, still has a very heavy accent. She, cooks all Filipino dishes and stuff, but.
Does she watch Jokoy? Because that's totally an accent that they do.
Does my mom know Jokoy?
Yeah. Everybody should know Jokoy. Come on.
I know, seriously. Jokoy's amazing. I was like.
Hilarious. It's like a white dude that has a Filipino thing,
Yes.
He's half white, but yeah.
I love the thing. Yeah, he's mestizo like me.
He's really mestizo, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so funny because like he, in one of his stand-up shows, he was talking about how all Filipinos want to be a dancer. And how
nurses.
Yeah. My mom, like she was like, I remember when I told her I wanted to dance professionally, she was like so angry with me, and I still did it anyway. But I
have to say that your dance career was good. I mean, you won some contests there, and you guys had good dance company, and your performance were great. I'm sure they could still see it.
Thank you. I mean, I feel like dance has evolved so much since then. So looking back at the videos, I'm like,
it's not me. Oh, I did that now.
I know.
You're right.
But for that time, I think it was like it was considered good stuff.
You're right.
And it was like the best time of my life. Like I loved it.
So let's get into nutrition here. What's the biggest misconception about fat?
Fat is so good.
Tell us why.
Well, your brain is primarily fat. So, a lot of people think that they shouldn't have fat because it'll make them fat. And it's like, well, no, it actually is wonderful. Your body needs it. Your brain needs it because that's like, how your brain stays healthy. But like a lot of people think, well, again, they think that they'll become overweight, but fat is really important. If you have a meal, you have to incorporate fat into the meal, whether it's a salad and you put salad dressing or like extra virgin olive oil on it. And the reason why is because fat actually, I can't remember the terms because it's been so long since I've studied this, but it basically, your stomach, it has a valve that empties into your intestines.
Right.
But when you consume fat, it doesn't empty as fast. So it actually keeps the food in the stomach longer. So that way the food can kind of build up in the stomach and then you'll reach that feeling of being full. And so, again, it's really important to have fat so you don't end up overeating, but of course, choose your fats wisely.
And of course, you're talking about the good fats here, like virgin oil and even canola oil.
Fish oil, avocado, No, yep.
There is even macadamia oil is actually pretty good, but it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive. But not too many people just know also that it does really help build muscle if you're into bodybuilding and all of that
Yeah.
stuff. And you agreed that it does burn fat.
It
When you put out
does.
a fire, you put fat there, what happens? The fire even grows, and that really burns more fat. Not too many people know that. This is why when uh, I prepare eggs and I eat the yolks and everything, they give me a hard time. It's like, you guys don't know, that's,
Yes. Good
yeah,
stuff. That's where all the nutrients are.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Carbs is the issue. That's what you got to watch out for.
well, this is the thing. This is the misconception about it, because there are many types of carbs, of course, as you know. There's the fiber, the vegetables and all that stuff. Then there's potato, the complex carbs. And then there's my favorite of all, rice, which turns into sugar. Depends on what
Yep.
type of rice. But of course, I like white rice. I can't stand
Yep.
brown rice because there's just no way. But believe it or not, my diet is composed of chicken breast and rice, white rice. And it's just a matter of portion. So tell us about the evil carbs, or is it portion?
I'm a true believer in anything in moderation, but of course you want to limit the amount of toxins that you have and that kind of thing, and eat quality foods. It's not so much because carbs are great. Obviously, you need it, like fruits and vegetables. Those are
Energy,
carbs.
all of that stuff, yeah.
But we tend to eat, as the American diet is a lot of processed foods, and that's the refined sugars and all that stuff.
Those ingredients that you're saying, the even the natural ingredients when they put out carbs like that, are they the ones that making us crave more carbs?
Yes, because sugar actually, if you look at the how sugar affects the brain, and you compare that to how cocaine affects the brain, it affects the brain the same way.
Yeah.
So it's highly addictive. So yeah, it's yeah.
So in a typical day, what's your diet like? Oh, I know you're pregnant right now, so that's probably different. But okay, let's just include the baby in your typical day. What's your diet like?
Well, my diet is slightly different now than I'm pregnant.
Tell
But
us both.
Protein. I really have to eat more protein. And so I was probably getting an average of like 40 grams of protein a day. But I've been advised by my midwife and some courses that I'm taking. A Bradley course is one of them, that I need to eat at least 80 to 100 grams of protein every single day.
Yeah, because 40 grams is not enough, I think. Especially when you have a little one there. Yeah.
So protein's really important, especially when you're pregnant. And so it's like they're amino acids basically. And so those are the building blocks of all of our tissues and cells in the body. So if pregnant women don't get enough protein, then ultimately our muscles will start to break down to get those amino acids to give to the baby so the baby can develop. But also when the baby is in utero, there's a sac around the baby, and the integrity of that sac is based on protein. So if you're not getting enough, the sac, your water may break early, and that kind of thing. So
when are you due?
My due date is Halloween.
Oh my God. So your kid is going to be either Scorpio or Sagittarius.
Yes.
I like this type of stuff. I just like to profile people with that. But I don't really believe in it. It's just kind of entertaining to profile them.
Me too. My husband is a Scorpio. And
What are you?
I don't know if I can handle another Scorpio, but
what are you?
I'm Pisces.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Pisces is pretty much, Pisces, I think it's like Cancers. They're pretty much could get along with everyone, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Pisces is super cool, but I'm also very biased.
I mean, when I read this profile about, like for me, I'm a Cancer Leo, right? I think if you know me, I think you know that I have more Leo tendencies than Cancer. But anyways, I'm married to a Aquarius. I'm married to an Aquarius. No, our profile said we don't get along and we would fight all the time. We've never fought. Isidro and I, we've been together for like 13, 14 years. We never fought.
Amazing.
Yeah, I guess because what? I'm 20 years older than her. Then I'll just say yes, whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
That's really the secret.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
I
Can you
mean,
just say
if your husband is listening, that's the secret. Just yes, dear. 2 words.
no. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, that's right. So nutrition, if what, okay, there's genetics that people tend to really get fat easily and no matter what they do, right?
Mhm.
And there is the ectomorph type of people, whatever they eat, they burn it so quickly like that, right? Now, how would you advise people that are technically obese? They've been working out a lot, but still are having a hard time because part of this weight gain thing is depression and motivation. So, I mean, how would you advise them nutrition-wise, exercise-wise, because you have the background in this? How would you advise individuals like this who, in my opinion, already defeated here?
Well, as far as like the food itself, just to kind of get that out of the way, obviously you just have to burn more than what you're consuming. And,
Yes.
it's easy to say that eat quality foods. But the biggest thing with battling the mental aspect, because it's hugely about, your mental strength,
Right.
is having a support system.
Right.
Right. Community is so important. It's, getting rid of temptation. So, and then having someone that's helping you stay accountable and doing it with.
Do you have community like that in NJ?
In where?
In New Jersey?
I mean, I do. I have, I'm definitely very selective. As I've gotten older, I've learned to become more selective on who I surround myself with.
Sure.
And I definitely prioritize people with a healthy mindset more than anything else. So, and for me, it's, something that I practice like constantly is just checking myself mentally. And one practice that I do is I go on gratitude rampages every morning.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it just,
well, tell us more about this. So how would you do it?
Yeah. So, well, for myself, like my morning routine is as soon as I wake up, I pray. And so I'm a woman of faith, and
Are you in the evangelical side or Catholic side?
I grew up Catholic, born and raised Catholic school.
Yeah.
But I learned of this really cool acronym for praying because I was like, I want to pray better. So there was an acronym, and the acronym is PRAY, P-R-A-Y.
Right.
So P is for praise, R is repent, A is for ask, and Y is to yield. And so the praise part, the first part of the acronym, is ultimately gratitude. Is like, God, thank you for this. Thank you for that. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for my husband. Thank you for my dogs. Thank you for, a great day at work. Thank you for financial stability. Thank you for my health. And I just, think of every possible thing that I am grateful for because, even, I don't know how your faith is, but even the Bible tells you to focus on the good things in life.
Right.
There's always bad, but it's what you focus your energy and your mind on. And so I'm like, yeah, there's all this stuff, especially with coronavirus going on, all this stress, but it's like, that's not everything there is in the world. There's so much good and there's so much blessing. So let's just focus on that and raise the vibration. So I start with that personally. And then every day at work with my staff, we actually have a morning team huddle, and we go around the room and we basically, it's a mandatory at least 3 things that you're grateful for. And a lot of times we do more than that because there's just so many things to be grateful for. But yeah, so we just kind of, as a team start that, and it sets the tone for the day.
Right.
And
I used to do that when I used to be a very devout, I was going to become a priest, for crying out loud. That's what most moms wish, that one of their children become a priest because they probably all go to heaven. But I was in a seminary for 7 years. And then I
Wow.
switched to I become a Protestant. I became a born again Christian. And then I
Mhm.
became an atheist. And then I became a believer, meaning non-Bible believer. Although I still read the Bible, I don't treat it like it's infallible the
Mhm.
way the non-denominational born again Christians treat it as the only book. I
Mhm.
don't treat it that way anymore, but I do believe God exists, and I do believe you can have a relationship with Him. Uh, it was a very interesting evolution of my faith, but that's another story out of the day. But I know what you're talking about, the Bible focusing on good things, and I also know what you're talking about when you do your quiet time. We used to call it quiet time in the morning, and you pray that your day is pretty much made. It's like it refreshes you. It's like if you're a non-Christian, if you do that, they call that meditation. You know,
Yep.
but
Mhm.
that's where it is.
Yeah.
Have you, in your training in chiropractic, did they ever suggest that a CBC, a complete CBC, tells you whether what the problem with the person with, that's why they're obese?
We never studied that.
Okay. Okay.
I do believe that there are people who are genetically predisposed to being obese. Um, I think there's a lot of genetic predispositions, but did I say that right? I don't know. But
Yeah, you said it right.
what's more powerful is the study of epigenetics. And
Okay.
so we believe, like for years, we were like genetics, genetics, genetics. That's what dictates your health. That's what, you know. But more recently, epigenetics is so much more powerful than genetics. So epigenetics is actually the environment. So, and how that influences your genetics. So genetics is like a blueprint, but even with the blueprint, like you have a blueprint for construction, you
Right.
still have to have the contractors come in and build out the building, right?
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and depending on whether or not the contractor is good or not, you're going to get a good quality job or a poor quality job, but you can affect the stability of that structure based on how you build.
Right.
So there's, again, the genetics, but then epigenetics is more important. And so epigenetics is environment, and that is nutrition, what you're putting into your body. It's the level of stress that you have in your life. So like the mental aspect of it, and the toxins that are out there, you know, because we're exposed to toxins constantly through
Constantly. Yeah.
like our lotions or sprays or pesticides, or, you know, even the foods that we eat. So yeah,
Do you, what,
that
do you do weight training?
right now, no. But it's so important, and don't yeah.
I noticed that when you're I don't think you were pregnant when you're doing this. You do a obstacle course or obstacle competition or something. What do you call it?
Yeah,
I saw that in
that's
your profile. I usually do that before interviews, so we have something to talk about. So, what do you call it?
there's a lot of different ones. I did the Spartan race.
The Spartan race. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Okay,
So
tell me, because I used to make fun of people like you, but tell me what the hell the benefit of this thing, besides the challenges, of course.
it's so much fun. So like,
Why?
in all honesty, like I'm a perfectionist. So I was like, I have to train. I have to get really fit for this race. And my husband was like, okay, yeah, we can train, but you don't have to, like, you know, get like
You have to be
super.
really good at it and be a champion.
Yeah. And there's people who take it super seriously and they want to break records and all this stuff, which is so wonderful. But you don't have to, again, like you can just do it and take your time with the obstacles. So I did mine in New York. I forgot what city it was, but there was like a series of obstacles. And so you would like jog or you would run and then reach an obstacle, do the obstacle, and then have to, like, you know, run to the next one. And, you know, some of it I couldn't do. Like, I just did not have the physical strength for it, but other things I could do. Like there was like an Atlas ball, and, and
This is like the ninja thing, except it's outdoor, right?
yeah, yep.
Ah,
And so you get dirty, you get muddy, you get wet. And it was
Hell
actually,
no. Not me.
yes, it's amazing. We should all get dirty. I recently posted something on my Facebook of this kid playing in mud, and like everyone should do this.
Oh my God. Do people get injured though?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Hmm.
Yep, I'm
Not
sure
for
they do.
not for old people like me then.
You just have to be careful. You had to have good shoes, you know. You got to take your time, but you could do it. I think everyone should do it.
Not like it used to be, girl. I mean, I'm 54 years old, for crying out loud. And
You don't look it.
I know, but I still think I'm 18, and that's the problem.
It's all up here, right? It's all mental. It's all
that
mental.
that is the freaking problem. And I do notice that my body rejects certain things when it's already giving up, like drinking. I
Yeah.
haven't drank for like in a while because my body
We
don't
also,
like it.
too.
Uh,
Yeah.
Dancing for 2 hours, no, my body will tell me no. You know, it's and so. Do you still dance? Not anymore, huh? You're in New Jersey. Ismael Otero is there. His studio is right there. You know, I mean, that guy. I think he's older than me. He's still dancing. He's very
Who?
active. Yeah,
Ismail?
Ismael.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I actually danced for him for a little bit.
Really? I didn't know that. Oh my God, I did not know.
Just for a
Because
little
I
bit.
didn't know, or I don't know when you moved to New Jersey. That's the reason. So,
Yeah,
how many years
yeah.
are you in New Jersey now?
So almost 3. Yeah, about 3 years now.
Okay. So that was just recent when you joined Esmail then.
Yep. And I danced with him Caribbean Soul for just a little bit, less than a year. And then I'm so close to New York, and I was like, New York is the mecca of dance.
Are you?
So
I
I
mean,
I was like trying to figure out, okay, like what should I do? I need to take advantage of this. So I ended up joining Decor, Maria Ramos.
okay.
So I did Womanity for a little bit, but just for a little bit. The commute was difficult, and then I was opening up my practice, so I had to step away from that and prioritize and stuff. But one day
What do you miss most about the dance industry during your career? Because you guys were up there for a moment. What do you miss most about?
oh man, I miss
Because
so
all I
much.
can tell you, all I miss is the old friends that I used to hang out with. That's pretty much it. That's the reason I started a festival, just to have chismes and gossip and food and drink, and that was it. Really, it never started as a business. I never treated it that way. But
Yeah.
I mean, for you, that's what I miss. But for you, what do you miss most about it?
There's a lot. So, before I got into salsa dancing, I did other types of dance. I
Right.
did hip hop, I did jazz, and I loved the salsa and bachata community because it was, for me at least, and I know every city is different, but the community was so embracing. And I
True.
was like, how beautiful is this, that you can come from any walk of life. You can be old or young, you can be short, tall, you can not even speak the same language, and you can connect with people. And
Yep.
it was such an amazing, liberating feeling for me. And so that's probably like the biggest thing. My second biggest thing is the endorphin release from dance.
That's why you like competition. That's the reason.
I actually was never a fan of, like really, like competition stresses me out. Like,
Right.
okay, so like I taught, so like I did this thing with Anthony, we
Right.
had our own dance company. It started off as like just bachata, and then we
Right.
did like and salsa. Okay, so I always tell my students, there's like, in my opinion, 3 aspects of dancing. There's the competition and the performing, there's the social dancing, and then there's the teaching. And just because you're good at one doesn't make you good at all of them. I love teaching. So like, I actually did not really care for being on the stage. I did get a high off of it, but my
Right.
favorite thing, kind of like stepped away from like the spotlight or pursuing this, I guess that, and just teaching. And, but for dance for me was just what it did for my soul. And I know every dancer can relate to this, was just, there's nothing like it. Like, I can't speak for everyone, and I love sex, but I feel like the endorphin release from dance was stronger than sex. And
Can I quote you on that? Let me see.
yeah, trust me, I love
True.
sex.
It's true. I agree with you.
I
I
can say
agree
that.
with you.
But if I had a choice between like dancing and sex, I'd probably choose dancing. So
You're lying, Marissa. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. You probably had to ask me when I'm in a certain mood that same
That's
question
true.
and the same response. But
That is true. But you're right about the our community, because in my opinion, our community is small compared to other dance community in the world. Like, all of this, like, so you think you can dance, or the dance competition hosted by Jennifer Lopez. That's a huge mass appeal, compared to our crowd. However, I think there is a reason why it's just small, because we all know each other and we respect each other, really, especially in the professional level. Uh, and it was always a good thing to do that in our congresses. And we don't get to hang out a lot, but when we do, it is almost like just a reunion, just hanging out in a big house.
yeah.
It's a different story when a promoter like me loses money on Sunday night, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Right. And even like when you did events and like I would go to your events, like even the people that you chose, like they were really great, your headliners and stuff were awesome, but they also had amazing and wonderful, warm personalities too. So like, while it would get, some people, like for example, seeing Ataka and, Tanya, you would see
Yep.
them and you're like, oh my gosh, like you're starstruck, but then like
Right.
you meet them, they're like so chill, down to earth people. And I just feel like no matter what, like everyone was so chill, and it was just such a great community and atmosphere. And again, I know that there's like pockets where it's not necessarily like that,
Yeah.
I know I love New York, but like New York is just so different. Like, they're definitely like more competitive with each other.
Oh my God, New York is totally different from California, as you know.
Oh, it's so different. So different.
Generally, however, in our community, of course, it's a jungle out there. Everybody is looking out for just themselves, really, if you think about it, when it comes to the politics of it all. But at the end of the day, as you mentioned, that teaching is the most important. For me, teaching is also the most important, because you could see that you're making a difference with these individuals. That's for me, that's my endorphin.
Yeah.
I'm a counselor by trade, so that's my endorphin when I see that a person who had a totally different personality coming in learning to dance later on with a different evolved personality, which probably that's the real personality coming out, that's an
Absolutely.
accomplishment, It's like,
see these transformations, and it's so amazing. And like I transformed with dance. Like I grew up super shy, and like the only words that would come out of my mouth were "I'm sorry." I was just so like afraid of the world, and dance really brought me out of my shell and really helped me embrace who I really am. And when I became a teacher, just like you, I felt like I was able to empower people to blossom.
yep.
And it's so cool how transformative it can be.
So do you still get in touch with the old friends in San Diego, or no, it's totally different now? It's a totally different life.
No,
Not
it's
anymore.
totally different life. And, my friends out there were in the dance scene, but the dance scene out there has evolved a lot too. So
Yeah, I voted, and I did a festival there, and I was gonna do it this year, but the pandemic came. But that was one of my goals, to do one in San Diego.
yeah.
It's too bad you're not there anymore.
I know. Maybe one day we'll move. We talk about moving back to San Diego.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is this gonna be your first child?
It is. Yep.
Congratulations. Do you know the gender already, or no? You want it surprised?
Nope.
Interesting.
It'll be a surprise. I'm excited.
Yeah. So in the next 5 years, do you think you're still in New Jersey, or are you going to be moving back to California, still doing your practice, or getting back into dancing, or whatnot? What is your 5-year plan?
Oh,
This is not a job interview, by the way. It sounds like it.
That's such an interesting question because, me and my husband, Jason, we're very big on planning, because, you set goals for yourself. We do
Oh yeah.
vision casting regularly. But it's such a weird time now. And so we're like, we don't know. We have our lease for our practice. And so we signed a 10-year lease, which is like super long. But
can you get out of it anytime?
We possibly can. And we're actually looking at that, or,
Okay.
we may sell the practice, but
yeah, so it's a matter of how you sign the contract.
Yeah. So we have to look into that further, but right now we're really content being here. We love our practice. It's beautiful. And, we're setting our roots here. Now we have a child on the way.
So you already built your clientele there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to be tough.
It is. But, we do kind of want to get out of New Jersey. It's so different here.
I don't blame you.
I don't will ever
respect to Smell, who's been there for a long fucking time, but
I know it's so different. I miss California so much.
I live in Reno now.
Do you really? Oh, I didn't know
that. Until you get out of California, you will never notice how mean Californians are.
Interesting.
You wouldn't know, girl, because you're in the East Coast. They're meaner there, okay? You wouldn't know. But here in Nevada, they're like Texans. They're so polite. They say hi. I'm the only brown person here who goes twice a day in the mountains like this walking. One time I was walking and I wanted some intense workout, right? So I don't have any body weight, one of those things that you wear. So I put on a backpack big like this. You see a brown guy walking in the morning like this. All the white people, I was like, who is this dude? I never did it again. I'm the only brown guy walking here, man. Isidra, she's half white. She's half Mexican, but she looks white. So she fits in well here. But that's, I was just talking to Jiju, actually, who now lives in Texas. Is like, what's the difference between California and Texas? Like, they're much nicer here. And I told him, oh, okay, we're in the same boat then, because until you get out of California, you don't know how mean people are.
So you're right though. Like there were definitely times where there were, there's rude people in California. They're everywhere, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, I miss the cultural diversity in California.
And the food.
And I miss being around more Filipinos, because being in San Diego.
Don't you have a lot of Filipinos in New Jersey?
I think, there are Filipinos here, but I think they're in pockets. And I live in an area that's predominantly Italian. So there's like no cultural diversity.
Yeah.
And so recently I went on this thing where I'm since I'm pregnant, I'm starting having little cravings here and there. And I was like, I really want some pandesal.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And like, I can make adobo, I can make like lumpia and stuff, but like pandesal. And like, in San Diego, when I was a girl, like I would eat it all the time, and I would just go to the bakery. We'd get it where it was like
when you go to the bakery, is it still warm when you eat it?
Yeah.
You have to eat it warm, yeah.
Yeah. You were talking about refined carbs earlier. Like, I don't eat that stuff all the time, but like I really want it. And so, you can't just go to like a Filipino bakery. And I'm sure there's like one somewhere, but it's like far.
Yeah. Have you ever visited the Philippines at all?
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
I did, yeah.
It could be both sad and glad, because there are parts of the Philippines really, really poor. It doesn't matter whether the economy is doing good or not. There will always that part that's really depressing, And then you go to Manila, like Makati and all of that stuff, like all rich people are there. And so I think most third world countries are like that, I think,
Yeah, yeah. I went to Bali on my honeymoon.
Oh, that's San Francisco right there, man. Lots of fog.
Yeah. So, when I went to the Philippines, like I went into Manila.
Yeah.
And, it's very industrialized there. But then my mom is from a province called Santo Nino. So
Where is that? Where is that? Is that
it's
in
in West,
Luzon? Is that in Luzon?
yeah,
Ah, okay.
West Samar. And so that was my favorite part, even though there was like no air conditioning and stuff over there, it was just breathtaking. It was like something.
Do you guys have some rice terraces there?
Yeah, rice terraces.
That's beautiful.
Yes. And then my parents have land where it's like a coconut farm. So there's like coconut trees everywhere. And I remember like my uncles, they would like climb up the coconut tree.
Yeah, like monkeys. I'm like, what the hell? This is so easy.
Like they're like, it was fascinating. And then they would like crack open the coconut, and then they would get like fresh sugar cane, and they would put the sugar cane in the coconut, and we would like eat it with like a rusty spoon. And it was crazy.
I tried climbing that coconut tree. Halfway, I got fucking scared. I was like, I can't do this. Oh my God, I can't.
Oh my
the
God.
way they do this, they just go like this. I was like, how do you do that? It's like, it's practice. They didn't even train for it. It's just they were born. That's how they saw it, you know?
Yep.
But wow, it's at one point I had some Boracay festival there. I only did it once.
Oh,
I'll never
really?
do it again.
I
tell
saw
you
that. I've seen that, and I was like, "Oh, that's amazing!" But it was
as an organizer. I did one in the Dominican Republic. I did one in the Philippines, Boracay. I'll never do it again. I'll never do any festival outside of the United States. In fact, I co-organized the second Lithuania Bachata Festival also. I will never do it again because their laws are very different.
really.
I mean, it's so different that you don't know what you're getting for, and when, you know, what you thought was legal is illegal, or you should have asked permission for this and whatnot. It's like, nah, I'll never do this again. It's a waste of my time, and it's not worth the time to have this type of headache. And ever since then, I strictly did it in the United States, you know?
Yeah.
Me and Ismael was going to do something in New Jersey.
No way.
You didn't know this, huh? He didn't tell you. That was a year ago. He didn't tell you.
That was recently.
Yeah,
Wow.
we were on the verge of signing the contract already, and we were gonna, we were gonna do it. We were gonna do it at what, that casino area?
Oh, Atlantic City.
We were gonna do Atlantic City, right on the beach.
Wow.
That there is a iconic hotel there. That's traditional iconic hotel. We were gonna do it there.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We were ready to sign the contract, but we looked at each other and said, we need more partners. And so we tried to get other partners, because the magnitude and the money that will be spent, and he wanted really a beach type of concourse, because no one on the East Coast has done that yet, And I believed him because it was a great idea, but it was just so impossible, number one, to work with hotels there, because they're like mafia. They're like Las Vegas. And then, of course, we needed more partners because of the production cost and all of that stuff. Like, I was ready.
Wow, that would be
amazing.
So is it something that maybe you would still consider in the future if you had more partners?
Marissa, with this pandemic.
I know. I know.
What are you doing now to deal with the pandemic, by the way? Are you taking care of your immune system and all of that stuff?
Yes, the immune system. Yes, absolutely. First and foremost, that's the priority.
Let me say this to the general people. It's the immune system, stupid. I was kidding. It really is. Oh my God. I've never gotten the flu since paying attention to that. Certain stuff like that. Like, let's say if I was traveling, was in a plane for a while, I get so paranoid, I would take some herbs just to, get that insurance. Yeah, but even if my wife gets flu, never got it. It's not genetic. It's just the way I take care of myself and the way I eat. And certain supplements, of course. But what do you do? Are you doing the same thing?
Yes.
Especially now, because you're pregnant, you have to eat a certain amount of food. Yeah.
So really important to take care of your body. And there's so many things that we can do to boost our immune system. And unfortunately, there hasn't been much stress on that. And it's so key because we know the people who are most at risk are the ones who are immunocompromised. So how do you prevent yourself from being immunocompromised?
But
And
you already know this, Marissa, in the medical field, when it comes to alternative and non-medical stuff like vitamins, herbs, protein, whatnot, the supplement industry is totally different from FDA. FDA is more of like a mafia. You know, if it works too well, it can't be approved by FDA because it'll be competing with pharmacies and whatnot. It's a whole political thing, you know.
oh yeah, it's unfortunate how health can be turned, made so political.
Yep.
But definitely, key vitamins are vitamin D, and we can get that from the sun.
Yep.
But a lot of we don't get enough of that, so you could definitely supplement. Vitamin D is a hormone, that your body synthesizes. It's not
And
really a
most of the
vitamin.
time, when as you age, it goes down.
Yep. And then zinc is a huge one too. That's a great, a lot of people are deficient in zinc. Vitamin C, of course, but ultimately all your B vitamins and all that stuff is that you
In
just need
fact, when you mentioned zinc, isn't hydrochloroquine has zinc that permeates easily to your body? That's the reason it's effective when it comes to immune system.
Yes. So it actually allows for zinc to be absorbed by the body easier.
Yep.
And then zinc, we know, is a very strong antibacterial, antiviral. So ultimately it's one of those, medications that actually helps the body function better.
Yeah, it's the immune system, and this is how me and wifey are dealing with the pandemic. I worked for Amazon for like temporarily, and now I'm pretty much unemployed, really. I probably will get into some type of jobs now because I decided that the organizing thing will be secondary now, because if you think about it, the AIDS virus vaccine came in probably 10 or more later, approved for everyone, I'm thinking half of those years would be for the COVID-19 vaccine. Yes, it's on process. Yes, it's going to be approved, but it's not going to be available for everyone for a while.
Right.
And so therefore, I mean, right now, the ethical thing that they're doing when they're doing this vaccine, they're testing on humans right away, which is not the right ethical way. They have to test on rats first, right? And then humans, and then whatnot. There's so many steps, stage 3, stage 4, whatnot. And we're not even on the stage 4, stage 3 with the vaccine.
Right.
So most
Definitely.
people are thinking, oh, the dancing is going to get back next year. It's like, no, I doubt it. And that's the reason it's holding me back to plan for a 5-year plan for festivals. Right now, I'm planning for the backup plan.
Yeah.
Because as you know, I do this full time, and some of the friends that that are doing this full time as well are really hit hard, and they don't have any second career, as you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get back to counseling, but I'm going to have to relicense, retested. I don't know if I want to go through that again,
Yeah.
especially in a different state.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. But anyway, it's great chatting with you. I love this type of a vehicle because I could chat with an old friend and talk about old times. And I also like it when I haven't seen old friends and they have new careers and they're successful at it. It makes me happy, and
Yeah.
that's you. And of course, congrats with your new kid. When did you
Thank
get married?
you. I got married last year, June
Yes,
20.
last year. My God, I did. Okay.
No,
But you were together for a while, right?
yeah, we were together
Okay.
for a while. We've, I don't know, like 5-6 years now,
Okay.
but
Okay.
we wanted to get through chiropractic school. We wanted to establish our practice first. And then once that was kind of set, then we were like, okay, now we can get married.
Good.
So yeah.
And so you both work at the clinic now, yeah?
Yes, we have a practice together.
Interesting. That's good. That's a good dynamics right there. Well, I wish you success. What is your website if they are interested in, especially in New Jersey and New York area, in
Yeah.
seeing you?
It's adjust, ADJUST, NJ for New Jersey.com. So
It's very
adjustnj.com.
simple. AdjustNJ.com.
Yep. And there's a lot of really good content on there and a lot of information. So even if you just want to read up on it, there's a lot of stuff. So.
All right, Marissa, it has been a great chat.
Yes.
It's great to chat with you again about old times, and I am happy to see you being successful, and you're going to be a new mom. Congratulations, and I hope to chat with you next time, okay?
Awesome, Rodney. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear.
To you. Bye.